And we are live,
live
on the YouTube.
Live.
Da, 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 da,
I like
da.
the we start the show, we start the video, and we're both looking at our phones.
Because we got ads.
When I was
We're poor and we can't afford premium.
That's right, we can't do that. When I was turn down your volume, turn down your volume.
Yeah, your volume.
When I was growing up, there was.
When you were growing up.
That's good, Carlos. No, when I was growing up, there was, you had cable.
Yeah.
Right? Cable was everything because we didn't have all the streaming stuff. And so you watched what was available to you when it was available. And usually late nights, Friday nights, and Saturday nights, public television got really interesting.
Yeah,
right?
Sure. Yeah.
And so there was this lady that would do, I think it was Friday night videos. It was like a 30-minute program. It was the jankiest videos you've ever seen in Louisville, Kentucky, right?
I love that.
But she would always be like, and she was kind of a character, and she'd be like, she'd come out and talk to you. And not talk to you, but she'd come out and she'd do her thing. She'd interview. She'd go, "All right, what we got today, folks? What y'all got? What we got?" It's just like really, really fun and playful looking black lady. But she would always say this the whole point. She'd be like, "All right, let's roll the video."
The video.
You never hear the V. It would always sound like a video. Here's the next video.
Oh, that's really funny. Oh my gosh. You know what that reminds me of? Let me see if I can find this.
What? How is everyone, by the way?
Yeah, well, you talk to the crowd while I look up something funny.
Yeah, we are talking to the crowd on YouTube, which are billions of you.
Yeah.
Literally, there are billions, but we might get a few dozen on the live.
The crumbs off of the internet table.
The creme de la creme of the YouTubers are you guys watching right now. No, this little weekend recap, we're back. I hate to say we're going to have a little 2-week break on the weekend recap because there's some things going on that are going to take us away from doing next Monday and the Monday after. But I'm glad you guys are joining us today. And we will get to some recapping of the biggest events. I can tell you my weekend recap where you're doing your thing.
Crazy.
Carlos.
Well, I just wanted to, I saw this funny video. That made me think, I'm going to put it up on the screen. I don't know if the people can see the computer screen. Let's see. There's no way to know.
There's really no way to know.
Let's see. Maybe it's there.
Possible.
One of these days I'll get better at this. No, it's not showing. Why isn't it showing? Oh, I know why. Haha, ta-da. So I saw this meme and it reminded me, it's like when your middle school or high school teacher showed up hungover and then it would play this intro. Or this is what would play because you would know. Hold on, I gotta pull this over here. You're gonna think this is funny. Just imagine. Anyway, you get the idea.
It's so crazy.
So
it's
like
to be high tech. Too.
Well, because it's like the whole point of that is that like when there was either a substitute teacher, or if your teacher was hungover, they would just roll on the TV, right? Roll on the TV, and then they would put on that little video on there. So I just thought that was really funny. This little video.
I have to say, when you knew that TV was coming into this classroom, though,
that was the best day.
This is a good day. This is the best day ever.
Yeah, it was either that. I remember taking English 1 in high school, and we had this guy whose name was, we called him Mr. Schick.
Careful
like,
how you say it.
yeah, SCHICK, like the razors. But this is not a lie, and he's probably still out there. He was about 6'2", very slim, buff, always wore. Yes, he actually always put on a chapstick. Yes, and he wore like light wash jeans and a polo, and he was like slim but jacked. So we always thought he looked like Mr. Clean, 100%. He was an unbelievable teacher.
Mr. Clean.
And he would always walk in and be like, "Good morning, everyone. You should be working on your skill builder right now." And the funny thing about him is that his first name was Brock.
Brock Bick?
And no, Schick.
Brock Schick.
His middle name was Lee.
Broccoli Schick.
I am.
I mean,
100%.
I have had some broccoli that did make me want to shake.
Yeah. And the funny thing about that, like the best mornings that we had, sometimes we would listen to like audiobooks.
Yeah.
Like as part of our whatever. And one of the ones that we would do was Fahrenheit 451. You remember that one?
Yeah.
And it's that Ray Bradbury. And so I remember all these kids that would show up. Either they would show up high. I remember this one kid. I'm not going to say his name, but when he's like, "Hey, does my breath smell?"
Oh, gross.
And it was just he's like I did some stuff this morning, and I was like, and his eyes were bloodshot red. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And so he put his head down because as soon as they started singing, Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury continues. And so we listened through the entire audio version of Fahrenheit 451. We're supposed to be following along. And, but anyway, yeah, good memories. It's just like really, really funny.
Fun memories.
Fun.
Fun and fun. Speaking of fun and fun.
Fondue. What did you do this past weekend?
I had the best weekend, Carlos. I was down in one of my favorite places on planet Earth called Rosemary Beach, Florida. You guys, if you never heard of Rosemary Beach, I'm sad to tell you that I'm going to tell you about it because I don't want people to hear about it.
It's where rosemary, the herb, comes from, right?
Yes.
Does it taste like
Scarborough Fair?
There's rosemary's.
Parsley, sage,
Rosemary and thyme.
Yes. No, Rosemary Beach, Florida. You feel like you're in the French Riviera. In fact, there's one hotel there on the main street drag called The Pearl. And as we're riding our bikes by one of the first days, this guy comes out of the steps with some girl, maybe his wife, I don't know, his girlfriend, whatever. And he just looks around. He's a Southern guy. And he's like, you don't even got to go to Europe. You can just come right here to Rosemary Beach. And that's all you need to see. And I'm
that's
like,
crazy.
That's not really true,
That's
sir.
not at all.
It's not really true. But I get your point.
But it is beautiful. Holy smokes. They're all seeing pictures right now.
Oh, yeah. No, you guys, it's the most beautiful place. You ride your bikes around. So I was there for a wedding. One of my longtime clients, and really, I would say she is
friend. She's family now.
I mean, they're friend and family for sure. She's like a little sister to me, or I'm like an uncle figure in a lot of ways. But I'm also a coach, a mentor. I've helped develop her artistically. I pseudo manage her with her mom in this place. So, of all the artists I've worked with in my career, that I've been so thankful to be part of their career, she's the one I've spent the most time with, obviously. And so, in fact, to the point, going to vacation with them at times to Rosemary Beach. And so, she got married, Miss Ava Terry. It was a stunning and spectacular. Did you send me the pictures?
No, I've not.
Oh, Carlos.
You can just send it to our group text.
Carlos.
You need to text our BOGO. Be like, you guys are going to die.
You're really going to die. You guys, this wedding was over the top. Literally over the top. Small, simple, intimate wedding inside. There were no photos allowed or video of the service itself. And a little chapel in another great community called Seaside. That's where they filmed Truman Show, if any of you saw that great movie. And then the wedding was under a big top in Rosemary Beach on one of the grand lawns. And when I say this reception was top tier, I couldn't stop taking pictures of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was unbelievable. The level of detail that Ava and her mom and the team that they had putting it on.
I love that.
Unbelievable. The flowers, you guys, they were just white flowers everywhere you could turn and look. It was unbelievable. So, did that, spent a little time at the beach yesterday, had one beach day. You know, it's been a few days since I went to the beach. And amazing food, amazing friends, and it was incredible. The only down to it was trying to get home today. The plane situation was rough.
Yeah, you were in two different states.
Yes, I connected through Atlanta, and so there was delay. We were grounded getting out of Florida.
Yeah.
because of something going on in Atlanta, and that made me only have about 20 minutes.
What's the difference between being grounded as an adult in a flight and being grounded? Like, what's the worst that you've ever been grounded? Because at this point, I don't remember. I mean, I never really had any video games, so it was like, or like even the computer, like people took, maybe for me it was like you can't go out and play with your friends. That was when it was like I got in trouble. It's like you can't go out and play with your friends, and my friends would come up to the door and call out my name because that's how they would get a hold of me. It's like Carlos, you know, that kind of a thing.
I mean, I was a good kid, so I never got. I mean, I got some little pats and spankings.
Some
encouragement, some good encouragement from my father, but. I only got grounded one time as like a teenager, and it's because I had a curfew of like, it was either 10 or 10:30, can't remember, but I had to be home, right? And I pushed it one night. Just wasn't even crazy, but my dad was like, "Okay, no car for 2 weeks."
Oof.
And he did it.
What were you driving back then?
I had a really
nice car.
Yeah, I had a really great. It was
a classic.
It was a Nissan 300.
What
ZX,
year?
300 ZX. And it was bright red. And I remember the first week I had it.
Oh, like an 85?
No, it wasn't that. It would have been early 90s 300 ZX. I got a.
I'm looking it up to show people pictures. Ooh.
Got a key down the side of it.
No.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, you know. Kids can be mean.
Kids can be mean.
Get a nice car. But I mean, that was a big deal. It's why I don't look, make comments or, what do I want to say?
Get too controversial.
Well, we were having a conversation getting out of the car today, and you were talking about someone you know who gotten a new BMW, and they're young.
Oh yeah.
Right. And so I mean, I kind of get it. But I will say this: I don't think it was the best thing my parents did for me. I loved it at the moment.
Yeah.
But I think their continuous giving me things I liked made it harder in my 20s to.
Sure.
Right? To want to like drive and churn to get my own.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, that was my big weekend. You had a big weekend. What'd you do?
Oh gosh, yeah. Yesterday I performed with the Nashville Symphony, which is a really big deal.
Come on, that's a big deal, Carlos.
Yeah. Let's see if I can find it, and then I'll show a little.
I'm just sitting on the beach. You're out there with the symphony.
They needed a narrator for. There it is. Let me see if I can pull it up. For 2 works, for Paddington Bear's first concert, and then for Mo Willems' Because. And it was a really beautiful day, and it was really meaningful to me because my wife and my daughter were there. And this was, your
daughter's first symphony with you.
Yes, like official symphony. And so there I am, the Nashville Symphony. They were unbelievable. Ernesto Estigarribia Musi at the helm. And very, very cool. He's from Paraguay. And so it was really just good, like this Latino force on the stage, and
that's cool.
It was just unbelievable watching him work, and so really cool to have made that connection. And so I got to narrate Paddington Bear's first concert, which is a really, really cute story. Incredible orchestration, incredible music. They take the original theme and then they like incarnate it into all these little different pockets through all these stories, and so it was just really, really cool.
Oh, that was cool. I always loved Paddington Bear.
Yeah, cute. Catherine told me that when she was a kid, she really loved Paddington, and she thought it was really, really fancy, obviously because it's like a British, thing. But she's like, you didn't know about Paddington? And so...
You didn't?
I didn't. And so I said, I didn't know about no Paddington. I knew about badminton. Because I did play badminton, when I was younger. But I was more of a Teddy Ruxpin guy.
Yeah. That's fair.
And so my parents got me one with the cassette, and then
that's cute.
I accidentally got his jaw dislocated. So it was really sad because I couldn't get it. Like, I don't know what happened.
Do you still have him?
No, I don't have him.
That'd be fun because we could just put him on the table.
Yeah,
and
with
every
his
once in a while just
dislocated
talk.
jaw, you
Yeah.
know. But yeah, so that was cool, and also Fievel. You know, Fievel was my
Fievel the
thing.
mouse.
That was actually the first movie I ever watched as a kid at the movies. And so my dad took me when I was like 3 or something like that. I'd never been to a movie theater. And so I get in there, and the first thing that comes out of my mouth, I'm in Puerto Rico, and, you know, and it's like, oh my gosh, Dad, what a big TV this is. Those were the first words I ever said in a movie theater. And my dad said he felt like this big because people were laughing and looking at him, turning around, you know, be quiet. But yeah, so anyways, that's what I did. Obviously, we've all been really busy the last week that my buddy Hayden was here. We recorded some vocals for him, filmed some stuff.
Yeah.
We filmed some stuff for you too.
Yeah.
That more to come on that. We're kind of keeping a lid on that for the time being. And so just a lot of busy but life-giving things. And life-giving things can also just kind of make you very, very tired. And
Well, for sure, especially in the creative flow.
like you're gonna crash after we're done here for a little bit.
Oh,
right?
for sure, yeah. Well, I mean,
You've got some work to do,
Yeah.
but is there a
Tonight,
pocket today?
no.
Oh my gosh.
I roll right into 2 o'clock.
You need more of that.
I know. I roll right into 2 o'clock. You know, speaking of, I need to keep an eye on my phone because
Oh, they might be.
if they come with, my phone did ring a minute ago. If they come with a suitcase, then
is the concierge gonna
They wouldn't have-
drop it off at your place?
yeah, but they
That's
would,
really cool. They would never do that for me.
They wouldn't FaceTime me though.
They'd be good. That would
I
be
just
really
got a
funny.
FaceTime from somebody. No, what was I going to say? That I was saying. Oh no, for you guys out there, if you're creatives or if you're not, there are seasons of creative flow and there are seasons where it feels like a drought. But to the point you're making, when you are in the flow like we are right now in our own individual endeavors, it's exciting, it's fun, but it is exhausting in ways, mentally, physically, emotionally. And you always have, I'm not going to say always, but for many of us, until you really have this explosion of everything and money just seems to be happening, there is...
I thought you were going to see an explosion of shit.
Yeah, right? I mean, let's hope not. But that's what it feels like sometimes, right? It's going to all go up in flames. No, there starts to be this subtle and subconscious pressure or almost like stressor or anxiety of when will I start making money from all this time spent on this?
Yeah.
Or will I make money on all this
Yeah.
time spent on it? You know, I think it's one of the big differences in the creative life and the more, I don't want to say not creative life because that's not what, you know, a banker or a doctor or a lawyer or
Sure.
a teacher is, but how would we classify that? The creative life being it's free, you don't know where your next check's coming from or where your next dollar, next deposit. It's funny we still say checks. You know, you have.
Well, I mean, that's how I get paid, so it makes perfect sense to me. I'm still waiting on some from January.
I know you are.
It's crazy.
I'll get it to you, I promise. I know, you know, we don't have that, you know, every 2 weeks or every month instantaneous deposit that we look forward to. So you do find yourself in these moments of like, oh, I really hope this is all worth it.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah. Well, let's get to some big weekend news, Carlos. What were some of the big highlights?
I have no idea. We're going to find out together.
I got 3 to talk about right out of the gate. You can see if you can find some more, but number 1 being my favorite guy, one of my favorite guys, comes back to the stage out of death and has
Tupac?
the biggest biopic of all time.
Oh, yeah. MJ.
Michael Jackson.
Did you see it?
No, I was at this wedding.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if they did a pre-screening at the
Yeah.
wedding.
$217 million worldwide.
Yeah.
The biggest biopic of all time. Second to Oppenheimer, which was 157 million or whatever.
Something like that.
And then followed up by that was the Freddie Mercury biopic.
That's right.
At like, it was like maybe 70 million or 90
Wow.
million. So it was a big deal. Again, Michael's been dead for several years now, and we haven't had, we don't hear a lot of news about him, but when something happens, the fan base is still there to support.
So
I can't wait to see it. I hear it's amazing.
Funny thing about this is that after this biopic released, Billie Jean and Beat It re-entered the Global 200.
Whoa.
That's insane.
That is insane. I actually I read this today. I read some quotes from Michael that I found really fascinating. It was when I was sitting on the airplane just scrolling Instagram, and I should have saved it. I didn't. Michael was known for waking up at 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning and making phone calls to his producer and engineer to be like, we come to the studio now, we got to lay this down, we got to write this. He'd either write it, record it, whatever, both, because he had this deep belief that he was not creating anything, he was receiving gifts from God. So every song he ever had, every idea, anything fascinating and new, he felt that was a gift from God. And if he did not, this is really fascinating, you're like this, if he did not do it right away, he had a deep belief that God would give that gifting or that creativity to someone else, and he would lose the opportunity. And his biggest fear was he knew that God was going to give it to Prince.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that crazy?
That's hilarious.
They had this rivalry.
They sure did. They for sure did.
They had this big rivalry, so they would just get it done.
Yeah.
I found that really fascinating. But also, it inspired me to be like, don't sit on something when you have a great
Well, you know what's
idea
really
or
funny?
dream.
So, like, I'm trying to remember this correctly. Prince used to do the same thing. So he would wake up in the middle of the night, and so he wouldn't call his engineer and producer because he had them like in-house. They would stay with him during seasons of creative flow, and he would just like wake up at 3 a.m. He's like, all right, let's go. Let's go.
Crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, Michael Jackson and Prince. I mean, just legends.
Yeah,
pure
legends.
Pure
Absolute legends. Yeah.
Also saw the big news that they had to shut down Stagecoach for a little bit.
They did because of the
Some high
Habubi.
winds. Yeah, a Habubi.
A Haboob.
You definitely don't want a Habubi to come through.
Yeah.
So that was big news. I know everyone was kind of freaking out, but they were able to resume.
Yep.
So always a little drama in the desert around Coachella and Stagecoach. So Stagecoach lived up to it again this year. And then the same night, we don't really get political on this show ever, these chats, but third assassination attempt on President Trump.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Really crazy, and especially at the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Yeah.
Like, of all places.
Yeah.
Like, that could have really gone a place our country and the world would never want to see.
I did see, I'm not trying to make light of it, but I did see as I was scrolling, just people making content. It said women will use any excuse to like show off their look or something like that, because obviously there were all these different videos, and there was this one video of a woman who's on the floor taking cover, but she's wearing this, I think it was like a red dress or something, and the funny thing is that she's not filming what's happening out there, she's filming herself. Like,
oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, and it's like women will take any opportunity to show off their look, and I thought that was really funny because she's like,
that is really funny.
Anyway, and there was also another video of an elderly man that did not stop eating and did not take cover.
He's just in there.
He's just sitting. He's just like.
Maybe he's deaf. Maybe he couldn't hear.
He just probably didn't care.
He's like, this is the way I'm going out. My last meal.
Also, kind of going back to Stagecoach, apparently Scooter Braun and Sydney Sweeney were there for Ella Langley's set, and they were not, they just paid regular tickets.
Oh, wow.
They didn't like do VIP. They were just like hanging around between the masses.
Well, that's kind of cool.
And just being I saw a headline that said, sometimes the biggest flex that you can do is just be regular people. I'm just like, okay. I do that every day and nobody applauds me for it. I'm like, there goes Carlos
Never
being...
got the big flex
Ah!
for you. Carlos's camera going out. That's always our
We
big
literally
flex on
just
this
talked about
show.
this before.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
I don't
gosh.
know how to fix it.
It never fails to happen now.
And so, well, hold on.
Yeah.
I need to do it's around 20 minutes. I don't know why that's happening.
Huh.
25 minutes. But anyway.
Speaking of flexing, I also saw that apparently Mr. Harry Styles got engaged.
Did he really?
Yeah, to Zoe.
And so did Zoe Kravitz. Yeah, and Lewis Hamilton. Do you know who Lewis Hamilton is? For Formula One,
F1
legendary champion who's
Yeah, of
won,
course I
I
do.
believe, 7 world titles.
Crazy.
He got engaged to Kim Kardashian.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Apparently, yeah. This will be Kim K's 4th marriage and Lewis's 1st. He said, I have found the person that I want to be with, and I want to spend my eternity with her. So that'll be interesting. We'll
I
see
mean,
how
I
that
hope
happens.
those words ring true
Yeah.
forever for him.
Yeah.
But, it seems...
Seems like he might have a chance at winning 2 more championships. than that, but
They're both champions of something.
yeah, knock on fake wood. Hey, I like you, Lewis, man. I love watching you race. I think your comeback with Ferrari this season has been awesome so far. But yeah.
TBD.
TBD. Yeah. What else? What else is around?
I mean, I was holed up in a wedding.
Yeah, I don't know.
Those are the headlines I saw.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see.
That's a pretty big, noteworthy weekend.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I don't think we had anything. I mean, those are all crazy. Most of those are. Some of those are like, wow, that's crazy.
I'll say one more thing about Michael is that obviously we always talk about our connections, and we have a connection to Michael through our mentor's mentor, who was his lifetime vocal coach,
Yep.
right? Seth Riggs. And there's audio of Michael taking a phone voice lesson.
Phone lesson, yeah.
And he sounds unbelievable. He could sing so low, and he never really sang that way.
It's worth a Google. You
yeah,
can find it out there.
You should watch it. But I was so taken aback listening to that raw audio. I posted on my story. It was a raw audio of him singing "Childhood," and he's in the studio. People say I'm strange. That's the way. He would, and it's just like the best thing you've ever heard. And
yeah.
he records the. And I'm literally just drooling, just because everything's been made so perfect nowadays, and that's okay. It's I think maybe we always ask, well, where does the line stop? And I think for us has been AI, right? Because at least the source of that is if you tune a vocal, the source of that was imperfect, and you're just kind of putting on a makeup thing versus it being a full-on robot, which I actually found a fascinating thing. This kind of has to do with it. I saw a clip of Rick Beato talking to this guy that created an algorithm that can determine if a song is AI or not. Oftentimes we kind of just find out what that is, but it can actually take it and separate all the stems. Let's see if I can find it. Because the AI data was trained on the way that songs are made. It was trained on MP3 stuff. It wasn't trained on the full quality of audio. So it's really fascinating. Let me see if I can find it.
I had my first phone call last week from someone wanting to potentially start voice lessons because they wrote and produced their first song ever, and AI did it all for them.
Really?
Yeah, how fascinating was that?
That is fascinating.
And they sent me the track. It's catchy.
Wow.
But all they did was tell AI or Suno what to do.
Yeah, Suno. Yeah. All right, I found it here. Let me put it up here and see. I got it. All right. Let's see. This is Ben Jordan talks about detecting AI music. talking to Rick Beato.
Algorithm that detects AI music.
Yes.
So if you have a band and you put your music on Spotify, they're compressing it down to what is the equivalent of an MP3. They use something called inverse cosine transform, which
Okay.
is like a psychoacoustic hack to where you can hear the full uncompressed music, but it's being compressed into this tiny thing. You can detect things like inverse cosine transform even in the AI music. And so almost with impeccable accuracy, we've been able to find music that has been AI generated because so much of it, the base model's been trained with that compressed data. The argument becomes, well, what if it was trained on uncompressed data? And it's like, well, then they would probably had to negotiate with the person who wrote the music. But now that they have these deals, they're not just gonna like retrain the whole thing.
I wouldn't think
Yeah.
that they would go through the cost of doing that.
Right. I mean, I think of it as like they're trying to hold the bubble up as much as possible before it pops.
Isn't that fascinating?
So fascinating.
So like in order for they to retrain AI on the uncompressed music, they would have to go through the entire catalog, essentially of Warner and all these other things, and retrain it on the masters. And then they would have to probably pay money to the people who like have a share in that, millions, billions of dollars. But they're just they're training. AI is being trained on low quality music
That is so crazy.
because it's being trained on MP3s rather than like
Yeah.
the highest quality sound waves. And so that's fascinating. I saw that. and
No,
I
it
thought that
isn't.
was
I mean,
really
you've got people now starting to talk about the AI bubble popping.
Yeah.
For music, anyway.
fun. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, bubble
probably
pop.
some other things.
Yeah, bubble bop. Bibimbap. Do you like bibimbap? Do you like Korean food?
Yeah.
I've not had a lot of Korean food.
No, I
but
love it.
Bibimbap.
I used to go every once in a while when
AI
I lived in,
bibimbap.
yeah, when I lived in LA because they have amazing Korean
Oh
food
yeah, of
there,
course.
right? But it's very salty.
It is.
So you
Yeah.
take it
I my biggest gripe with Korean like barbecue is that
You gotta cook it.
no, not even that. I don't mind. Is that when you go with people, I just it's a me problem. I just want to eat all like I just keep bringing all the meat and it's expensive.
Oh yeah.
And so it's like then you grill the meat and then it's like, all right, I guess you can have that, even though I really want all of it until
yeah.
I'm full.
Yeah.
And
fair.
I still have to get used to kimchi. I'm not the
Yeah.
biggest fan of it.
Same. There's sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. I like it to be a little more mild than.
Yeah, it's good for you, but
Yeah.
like I'm not used to it. That, again, that's a me thing. It has nothing to do with their cuisine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it'll be fascinating to see where AI goes. I think people are resisting, and rightfully so. And some songs sound great, others not so much. And yeah, I'm gonna keep being a terrible singer because it just might mean that.
It might mean you make it.
Yeah, it might mean that I have a job because
Yeah.
they want real things.
Real people.
You want imperfection? Call this guy. So, anyway, yeah. Well,
Sounds like that's a good little weekend recap.
yes, a little weekend recap.
Yeah. We
I like how these are evolving.
mm,
Like, we're adding multimedia elements and
Yeah.
like Google.
you fall feet.
We're using Google.
big time
Wow,
over here, girl.
2026.
Big time over here. Aye. Well, hey, we hope you all had an amazing weekend, and more than that, I hope you have a fantastic, fabulous week ahead. Keep your heads up, keep your feet to the ground. Don't shick.
Yeah,
Don't shick on yourself or anyone
Yeah.
else for that matter. But yeah, we'll like I said, we're gonna have a little 2-week break from the weekend recap, and then we'll probably pick back up.
Yeah.
But let us know what you think. If you like it, pop things in the comments. We will see and respond. And until next time, have a great week.
Bye.